What it do to all my motherfucking free game people out there, man. To all of my FNB people out there. Today I'm here to talk to y'all about the concept of the mask. Now, when I speak of the mask, I just really mean the mask that most people put on when they go out into the world. You know, that facade character that they show to everybody when they go outside, or, you know, when they just around people. And everybody has this to a certain extent. You know, some less than others, you know. But I feel like the ones who really don't have it either never really too much identify with things outside of themselves, or they have learned what it means to be themselves, and they've kind of, you know, tapped back in with that. But most people find themselves walking outside with a mask on. There isn't too much real, especially not nowadays. You know, the world has been based off of perception, and the biggest reason that the world has been based off perception because not a lot of people live in reality anymore. In one of my other videos, I talked about how the internet is a consciousness within itself. So because the internet is a consciousness within itself and a reality within itself, it makes it hard for people to live in the actual reality. It makes it hard for people to really live in the real world, which then makes in this internet reality, the internet reality is completely based off of the mask. You know, the internet reality is based off of your ego. You know what I'm saying? So since most people spend most of their days within this internet reality, they only can identify with this ego. They can only identify with this mask. You know, the more tapped in you become, the more you are able to witness and recognize when people aren't really being themselves. It's almost like a feeling you get, or even a energy you feel from their tone of voice when they speaking about certain things, or even just if they speaking regularly about something that isn't certain things. You could just kind of tell when people putting that on. The reason that I'm here to talk to y'all about that is because it's important to recognize that. Now, don't get me wrong, in certain scenarios, if you looking to find yourself in a good position, or in some form of position of power, that mask can be beneficial to you because it puts you in a position where you know yourself, but they don't know you. So that has its benefits, but it's only beneficial when you understand that it's a mask, and that mask becomes a tool. That's the only time that it really becomes beneficial. It loses its benefit when you don't recognize that it's a mask on. That's when it isn't beneficial at all. That's when you just lost. And that's why I don't think that's the whole reason, but that's one of the biggest reasons why there is so many lost souls out there. A lot of people are, first thing is, a lot of people aren't in alignment. And I talked about that, you know, when it comes about the trio or growth. All that video was about getting yourself in alignment. But most people aren't in alignment, and then also most people are identifying with their mask instead of who they truly are. And it's hard to recognize that. Like, that takes a lot of time and a lot of observation and introspection to truly understand when you are identifying with who you really are, your authentic self, and when you are identifying with things that's outside of you and things that you didn't put meanings to that really isn't that, you know. I think the best way to kind of recognize this is you gotta really ask yourself questions, my nigga. Like, talk to yourself. I feel like don't let motherfuckers make you feel like if you talk to yourself, you crazy. That's not the case, my nigga. Most of the smartest people in the world talk to themselves. Feel me? And talk out loud. That's how you work out thoughts, because you gonna say something and then you gonna respond to what you saying. It's like, it sound crazy and it may sound like some outrageous shit, my nigga, but the best way to learn yourself is to tap in with yourself, and that goes with meditating, that goes with talking with yourself. You know, you can write all type of shit, my nigga, but it's very, very important to recognize that mask, because if you don't, if you live with that mask on 24/7 from the time you wake up to the time you go to sleep without recognizing it, then you're gonna lead yourself down a path that you really don't want to go. And then one day, if you ever wake up, you're gonna wake up and be mad as a bitch, because you're not gonna be you, and you're gonna be wondering why the fuck are you so unhappy. And it's because your soul has been following a path that it's not meant to be on. You know what I'm saying? But that's a quick one for y'all, man. If y'all want more on this topic, I got some more thoughts, but I'm gonna make this quick. So free game, I love y'all, I'm out.